Okay, thank you so much for sharing your wonderful ideas and how you incorporate vocabulary into science in your own classrooms. Really thought-provoking ideas. Many of you were able to share with us, and I really do appreciate it. Now, um, on your desk, you all have an article, okay? And you're going to interact with this article by kind of annotating what we call annotating the text. So you're going to read two segments of this article for me by Marissa Cohen. You're going to read the introductory paragraph, and then you're going to go and read the segment where it talks about the importance of vocabulary for science instruction. Now, while you're reading this, you are encouraged to highlight various things that stand out to you. You can circle some things. If any questions pop in your head while you're reading, you can kind of write them on the side. Any queries or anything you want to further discuss as we continue our discussion, you can also write them in the margins as well. So independently, I will kind of give you some time to read through, survey it, and annotate it as you move along. Okay, you're gonna stop at about a minute for me. You have a minute more to interact with the article. All right, now we're going to talk about it. Okay, and I'm going to kind of start our round robin discussion with the question: does a strong focus on science vocabulary support student learning? Now, as we discuss this, I would like for you to kind of tie in some points about on what you just read, along with your own experience, to help us understand exactly what your standpoint is on this prompt here. During this time, I would give the participants time to discuss and share their ideas and make their own reflections on what they do in their own classroom to support student learning. It's now time for our 15-minute break. During this time, you can mix and mingle. You can have a coffee. You can go and have a short or a light snack, but you're going to have to be back in 15 minutes if we want to continue our session in a timely fashion. Okay, welcome back, everyone. We're now going to move on. The first segment, we kind of looked at why there is a need to teach vocabulary in science. Now we're going to kind of look at various strategies and techniques, evidence based, that we can use in the classroom to facilitate or support the teaching or instruction of vocabulary in science to students with LD. So we're going to look at an approach that was developed by Dr. Robert Marzano. And he's right here at the right. I will give you a brief information or some brief information about who he is and what he does. Okay. So Robert Marzano, Dr. Robert Marzano has a PhD. He is a co-founder and chief academic officer of Marzano Research in Colorado. He is a leading researcher in education. He's a speaker, trainer, and author of more than 40 books and 300 articles on topics involving instruction, assessment, writing, and implementing standards, cognition, effective leadership, and school intervention. He has developed a 6-step approach to direct instruction. This method encourages students to learn critical academic vocabulary by connecting these terms to prior knowledge, using linguistic and non linguistic means that further encourage the refinement and deepening of their understanding. So, in a nutshell, that is Dr. Robert Marzano. Now, on your tables, you're going to see a kind of graphic organizer depicting Marzano's six-step approach for teaching vocabulary. Now, with this six step, these are steps that you can initiate or use in your very own classrooms in science to help support students um, and their vocabulary usage. The first step asks you to explain or ask students to explain. So this is a type of direct instruction where you provide students with a friendly description, an explanation or example of the new term. In the second step, you restate. You ask students to restate the description, explanation, or example in their own words. I realize that when we ask kids to restate in their own words, that gives us a better understanding of their level of comprehension. So that really works. Step number three is to show. You're going to ask students to construct a picture, symbol, or graphic representing the term. Number four, we take part in discussions. You engage your students in activities that help them add to their knowledge of the terms in their notebooks. The fifth step is to refine and reflect. You ask students to discuss the terms with one another, a form of collaborative learning. And number six is where the application through game playing comes into play. You involve students periodically in games that allow them to play with the terms. Now, you're going to view a brief video by Mr. Neil Hicken, and you're going to kind of view or observe how he uses Marzano's approach within his classroom setting. Give Neil a hand. It's that. When they're having fun, students sometimes forget that they're learning. That is so very true. So let us all try in the best way possible to ensure that students are having fun in our classrooms. Okay, now in your groups, we're going to kind of reflect on the information we got in terms of his Marzano's six-step approach and the video we just watched. And you're going to conduct a think, pair, share activity in your groups. You're going to share what you thought about the topic of Marzano's six-step approach. You're going to then share what your partner thought about it. Then you're going to write down what you're going to share to us as a group after the fact. So you're going to have about 5 minutes to work on your 5 to 10 minutes to work on your think per share together. Excellent job by all of you. I am so very pleased. I can see you are all getting or grasping a lot of what it takes of us as educators or what is needed of us in order to help our kids succeed in science vocabulary. Now we're going to move to my favorite part, the application activity. And with this, I'm going to ask you guys individually now to create a lesson plan. All right. On your tables, you also have your lesson plan handout. Create a lesson plan using the first three steps only. That's all I want. The first three steps of Marzano's approach. You're going to get some time to complete that. Very good. Now, it was so good having each and every one of you here today. We spoke about the importance of teaching vocabulary in science and how it helps our students and what vocabulary is and what strategies, evidence based, we can use to help and facilitate our students' learning in science. So at this time, if you have any questions, you can feel free to ask them. Every after every session, I'm asking all of you if you would please go to the website link below and download the survey and answer the survey that will give me an idea of how well the session went. You can just take this link right here and you can copy and paste it into your web browser, and then you can complete that survey for me. Thank you all for coming, and I hope to see you guys tomorrow. And as you leave, I want you all to remember that vocabulary is the best single indicator of intellectual ability and an accurate predictor of success at school. And that quote is by W.B. Alley. You have an excellent evening. Read up on your objectives for tomorrow, and I will see you then. Thank you.